Okay, I see audio now. Can someone check Facebook and see if we're coming through now?
We are on there. Let me check for the audio.
Okay. Check one, two, one,
Oh, it
two.
sounded like that you were coming through.
Hmm?
Let's check. We're coming through now. Yeah. Yes, you're good. We are on there. Let me check for the audio.
Okay. Check can,
Yeah, you're clear. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Should we just start all over?
I would.
Okay, let me get set up to do that here. Here. Good thing is I'll be able to edit all this out once we're done. Hello, welcome to the Thursday night edition to 585 Live by FLPC Presents. I'm your host, Mike Dahl. Today we've got a special presentation that we'll be doing here today. Our guest is Kevin from Nature's Little Helper. So I definitely apologize about the technical issues we've been having here. But Kevin, could you go ahead and introduce yourself again and tell us a little bit more about Nature's Little Helper, please?
Oh, sure, absolutely. And thanks for having me on the cast tonight. My name's Kevin. I'm part owner of Nature's Little Helper, located currently in Greece. We're going to be moving to Rochester shortly, and due to good old Greece is opting out. But my partner and I, we've been in business since, let's see here, beginning of the pandemic, essentially. February of 2020 is when we first opened our first store. It was a kiosk in the mall here. Um, Forced us because of the closure of the mall to move on and decided let's go full retail. He is a full manufacturer, my partner, over in Staten Island. It's the owner of BZB's Honey Incorporated. We make a lot of our own products, tinctures that include things like bee propolis, royal jelly, red panax ginseng, turmeric, maca roots. I mean, you name it. We've got a bunch of different unique formulations that you may not have experienced that really work well synergistically with each other. But long story short of it, we are in Greece and we are going to be moving. We're looking at a potential property in Rochester area as we speak. So
Okay.
if I do disappear, it's because I've got a last minute phone call, but I doubt it's going to come this time of night.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. We've been doing the pressing. I learned how to do rosin pressing when I lived out in California. I worked up in NorCal in the Sierra Nevadas. Worked on a med farm for almost 2 full years. That was where I was first exposed to a homemade press. This is going back to 2016, so pressing wasn't really a major thing being done. But I learned from somebody out there, and while we were out there, I pressed hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So
Okay.
it's become something really special to me, especially considering the gentleman. He is no longer with us, Aaron Briska. He was a genius when it came to doing these rosins. Not a well-known name because it was the very beginning of this stuff, but thank you, Aaron, for all your tutelage, because that's why I am where I am right now on the rosin side of the house. But we do a rosin press service here. It's unique because of the way the laws are in New York. We can't press it for you, but that gives us the opportunity to create an interactive experience and an educative experience.
Right.
So we have it set up that you come in and you press your own product here with our tutelage, our equipment.
Yep, and that's what I got to do today. I got to go into Kevin's shop. I was a customer. I walked in there with my product, and we're going to show you a video that shows the process. Unfortunately, there was just no sound to it, so Kevin is going to narrate it as it goes along. But basically, it was a real good learning experience for me because I've never really gotten into concentrates or the making of them. So to be there firsthand, getting your hands on, doing the press and doing everything, it was a very good learning experience and something I'm glad that I was able to be a part of. Now, so let's go ahead and we'll start the video here. If you can just, and it's going to be slow in times because it kind of just shows us looking at the same thing here a lot.
Yeah, you can get through some of that stuff too, Mike. You can probably fast forward a few seconds here and there. But that's our beast. That's a 12-ton press. That was just on the screen there. It was a 12-tonner.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the actual. Right now, we're just going through the basics, getting set up. You know, weighing out what we need to weigh. But just as the video goes through, just tell us a little bit about the process and what we're doing as we do it.
Certainly. Basically, I like to start out with a sample press. I'll do 7-gram bag. We were utilizing tonight a 120 micron bag. That's the filtration diameter. Smaller the number, the smaller the hole size, the more filtration you get. 120 seems to be about the sweet spot for, comparative quality and quantity for your returns. So we measure out 7 grams as a tester, and it seems to be that 7 to 14 grams seems to be the amount that you really want to press on, at least our press. I've got a 4-inch by 7-inch plate with a 12-tonner. But I've been getting best yields by doing that level. Seem to have a little bit more control, I feel. So at this point, we're going to weigh out the 7 grams that we did. Actually, today we did 2 presses for you today.
Yep.
The first one that you're going to be looking at was 7.16 gram. And it was your Gorilla Glue that was crossed with AK-47.
Yep.
So we do a different technique. There's 2 different ways that you can stuff these bags. There's the traditional way, which is the rectangular flat like a cake. And then there's another way that's considered to be called bottle tech. What you're doing is you're taking the bottom corners of your rectangular micron pouch that you're filtering with, and you kind of tuck the corners inward. It ends up turning it so when you stuff it with that dupe tube you saw me waving around in the background there, that's a perfect secondary use for a dupe tube. Rather than tossing more plastic in the trash, I'll use the thing.
Right.
Stuff it down, it'll pin those corners down for you, and now you can fill it into a duffel bag shape, kind of like an old, like a sea bag for the Navy or the Army.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're decreasing your footprints that you're pressing down on. Therefore, it requires less pressure enforced with the press.
Okay.
And that's a really crucial thing because less pressure tends to give you cleaner presses, cleaner rosin. Too much pressure, people are hammering down on these things, trying to get a full 12 tons out of that. It's a 12-ton press. I'm going to jam on it. Yeah, you're going to blow your bag out and contaminate it with all your green leaf material again, and all the fats and laxatives and lipids you're separating out. But you're also going to darken the living garbage out of it, even at a lower temperature. Too much pressure can produce a darker rosin.
Right, and that's one of the things you were telling me is like find that sweet spot, use your 2 fingers, feel the pressure there, and remember that pressure.
Right.
So the pressure is the heat. What's more important, the heat or the pressure? Or is it both equally, or?
It's a combination deal. I think that the heat is even more is more important, really. But it not to stray and say that too much pressure is a problem, because it is. It's a serious problem. People just hammer on these things. You don't have to.
Right. Now, how do you decide what temperatures to start out with, or how do you come up with the numbers to start out with and what to use?
For myself, I would say it's based on my experience level. I've pressed over the years so many different strains that I'm pretty experienced, but a lot of it's by feel initially. You really want to find that middle spot and have your relative humidity or the moisture level of those buds to about 62%. That seems to be the proverbial sweet spot. You can have it in a range though from like 67 to 55ish is my recommendation, with obviously with a goal of 62. And conveniently enough, they have moisture packs that you can purchase. Stick it in your glass jar and get it at 62%. Let it sit for a few days or so, and it'll be at 62, and then press away.
Okay, now that brings up another fact. When you're deciding, what to press, you said you want to dry it, but you really don't want it cured. Can you explain why that
Correct.
is?
Yeah, there's curing's great for smokable flour, and it's also great for after you've pressed. But in order to get your best on pressing, you really want to cut your plants down, do your normal drying process, which is, 7, 10 days, depending on the person, humidity of the room they're drying in, etc., density of the buds. Get it to the point where you're like, okay, it's time to trim it and time to jar it and start curing it. Don't cure it though. You're going to want to stop right then and there and bring it to the press. The reason why is curing, it works differently when it comes to your rosins versus your flour. If you're going to keep it as flour, you want to cure it because it brings out flavors. It's not as raw as being fresh, just cut. And anybody who's grown in their history knows you get it just to the point of drying and taste it versus letting it cure and taste better later. Well, that's due to a process of oxidation of the terpenes. So when you're pressing, you want all those terpenes active and live in there because you're making a full spectrum product essentially, minus the fats and lipids. And that's what you really want to preserve that at all costs.
Okay, and so right now we're still just like making the bag, and it's the important thing is you like really had me use that the joint roll or whatever and just press that down there until it's pretty compact.
Yeah, kind of a pre-press in a way, yeah.
And what's the reason for that?
Well, you kind of want to make sure that it's like evenly stacked and pushed down in there and make like a puck that's like even tightness all around. That way, when you put it underneath the press and you start actually putting pressure on the bag, it doesn't turn into the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Right.
You want to try and compact it as much of a circular shape as possible, because that's why we're doing this bottle tech instead of the standard rectangular flat pancake that some people used to do. Most people are doing bottle tech now.
Okay.
Kind of returns off of it.
Yeah, and I did try to do the bottle. He showed me how to do it and everything, and it, at least for a non-mechanical guy like myself, it was a lot harder said than done. But I'm sure after a few times doing it would probably be second nature. Now the next thing, like the other thing he had us do is we cut the bag down, and then like you said, we folded it into like a Christmas present. What's the reason? Why are we doing it this way and everything?
Well, there's so much extract you've squished it down by hand like that with a tube
Right.
that you want to remove as much of that filter material, because it's going to just sit there and possibly soak up some of your rosins, and you don't want that. You want the rosins on the parchment so you can collect it. You have
Yeah, it's better to us than the bag have it.
it. Exactly.
Now, so right now you're getting the parchment paper ready for the press, and it's basically you said you fold it in thirds. What's the whole? What are we doing here?
Basically, you're just guarding and protecting your plates from getting messed up with rosin. You're giving a material and a surface that you can collect your rosin off of. So you're basically going to make a mirror size on your paper of the top plate, so 4 inch by 7 inch or so. So your fold on my paper is about a 2/3 overfold. That's just going to be covering the top plate, and then the bottom portion covers your bottom plate and gives you some that sticks out where you'll seen, I'm sure people have seen on Instagram, people pressing, where it can flow out onto if it's a sappy type of flow. Some of it doesn't flow, and some of it flows like a waterfall. So you just kind of make a little catch tray that's from, right now I was showing you the tray that's folded on the top. That's just so I've got a spot for the magnet to grab onto and keep it up and off of everything.
Right.
But on that bottom tail that'll end up hanging off the bottom, you do a same fold.
Right.
That'll be your drip tray in case you have really sappy material.
Now, what type of strains are now? What type of strains will be more drippy? What more type of strains will be more like crystally? I mean, what are the different strains, and what do you expect from some of the different strains?
Based on how many strains there are out there, I'm still building my Bible. Journal everything, temperatures, micron size, how long it's been since you harvested, and just keep track of all that stuff so you can kind of keep notes and duplicate things in the future. I'll pinpoint two strains specifically. One of them is Blue Dream. I like to call that one Blue Nightmare. I love the end product for taste and effect,
Right.
but it's an absolute nightmare. It's like maple syrup sap coming out of the presses. Good colors, good aromas, good taste, good effects, but it is super, super, super hard to get off of that parchment.
Okay.
So that's why I call it Blue Nightmare.
Right.
Whereas conversely, sour diesel, the product that you had today as well, the Gorilla Glue times AK-47, that stuff didn't run at all. It turns into sugar right on the plates. Personally, I love it when it does that. It's not a show and tell type of thing, but I love it when it sugars out because it's essentially your THCA start to crash out for you. Those little crystals are like microscopic diamonds, essentially.
Okay. And so right now we're just getting the press ready, and you'll see me set it in there. And this is a little trick. So you know how Christmas presents have flaps. Explain to me the reason why you put it in the way we did, and what could happen if you do it the other way.
Yeah, your final flap when you do your four corners, like the little triangle flaps, like you're folding the top of a Christmas present before you tape it. Obviously, we don't have tape, so you need something to keep that last flap from opening up. So what you're going to want to do is they're triangular in nature the way you fold these. So you're going to have the point facing forward so that when you push it in between those plates, it squeezes kind of snug and it keeps it pinched down instead of it pulling it open. It's just a direction thing. And that's because, again, you don't want the top to pop open on you and, you lose out green material that taints or contaminates your end product.
Right. And so right now I'm basically just we're doing the what like the first press where you said you go down halfway, and what's the reason why we're doing that and all of that?
Yeah, basically we're bringing it to a condition of preheating. I like to get the bag about halfway squished. It kind of levels off everything. It does a little bit more pressure on it than using that tube when we did it by hand prior. Then you let it sit there for about 30 seconds in order to preheat everything. You want to have that heat equal all the way around, circularly around that pouch, top and bottom, and at the core of it.
Okay.
And that's just so that everything's all on the same page when you start to apply some pressure to it.
Okay, and you said it's about 30 seconds or so we do this, and then
Yeah, 30 seconds. You don't have to set a timer or nothing. Just kind of guesstimate 30 seconds or so.
right. And so basically, then the next step is, and you'll see it here in about 30 seconds or so. But basically, we're just going to keep pressing it a little bit more, and then you'll start seeing where you show me the two fingers and everything here.
Right.
Now, so like the breakdown. So this is basically, is it just extracting the oils and everything, or is there an actual chemical reaction breakdown that's going on during this time frame?
Depending on which terpenes that breed has in it, each terpene has a different volatility or a boil off point, I guess you could call it in layman's terms.
Okay.
So it's really there's not enough science done on it yet.
Okay.
That's where it's very important to journal everything.
And like you said, this is a fairly new technique. Well, it's been around for ages, but doing the rosin.
Right.
How
I'd say truly the modern day pressing has probably been in existence for around 8 to 10 years, but it's starting to become mainstream the last 5 plus, or
Right.
five or less rather.
I mean, and a big reason is because before, it was the the butane hash oils and everything. And those are made with solvents and things. So, can you explain why it's better not to use solvents and use a press like this?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, you're using a chemical. It's already we're putting something into our system that our lungs are trying to reject anyhow. So you're going to add in a volatile chemical, such as butane. There are other methods too, hexane, I guess, and a couple of others. I mean, that you really need a high end laboratory environment if you know that you're going to be able to purge all of that nastiness out of there.
Right.
If you don't do it right, I mean, I'm sorry, I could taste it in probably 90% of the BHO stuff that I've had in the last year.
Right.
You can taste it.
Yeah.
Once you taste fresh without it, you'll never want to go back, first of all. But that's, if you can taste it, there's something still in there. Do you want that excess item in your body when you're trying to make basically your own medicine? Defeats the purpose, if you ask me.
Exactly.
Now it's just alcohol. Now it's just essentially a party drug. And that's not what we're all in it for, or at least not me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's medicine, and a lot of people that watch us here at 585 Live, it's medicine. It's not the party thing here. It's more about healing and taking care of yourself. Is why we use cannabis and use it as medicine.
So we'll catch you up to where you are on this video. Basically, when we had you squishing it down from the halfway point slowly, we waited until it started to well up some actual seeing some visible rosin on the parchment itself, surrounding the base of the puck that we're squishing. I call it a puck for reference. That's the pouch, but it's easier to call it a puck.
And it does look like a hockey puck once it's finished. So that's
yep. So once you see the rosin starting to well up and actually be on the parchment, not just clinging to the bag, but on the parchment, I start a 5-minute timer. It's just my own kind of gauge to let me know where we are in the process. It's not a rule of thumb. Some people will yell and say, oh, 3 minutes, oh, 7 minutes. Everybody has their own opinion. I just use 5 as a guideline. But once it gets to that point where it's welled up nice, I tilt the whole unit over. That's what those arms are built for on our unit. You tilt the unit forward so that if it is a sappy product, it will waterfall out onto the parchment. The reason being is it starts to cool off immediately then, instead of laying on that plate. Now yours sugars up immediately on the plate, so there is no running on yours,
right now,
or at least on this strain.
So is that a good or a bad thing, really? To the sugar?
I think it's beautiful. That's my preference. Yeah, it's not show and tell time, unfortunately, for people. They don't see that as waterfalls. Like when you're doing bubble hash runs, you see a massive waterfall. But this is straight flour. It hasn't been refined down to just the trichome heads.
Right.
This is full flour, full spectrum. So I like it when it sugars.
Okay, and so the benefits of the sugar, then it gives you the crystalline right away and the full, like you said, full spectrum. What you're not seeing is after we go through this part of the 5 minutes, then we actually go through and weigh it out and everything. So that part's not on this video. So can you explain a little bit what was the outcome of this first press?
Yeah, first press, just to go back, we were at 7.16 gram of material to start out with. We did the sample at 182 degrees Fahrenheit and used a 120 microns for the filter bag, and that was your Gorilla Glue AK-47 cross. Wasn't a great yielder in quantity. We probably started, I think you said, 52-ish relative humidity on this one, 55?
57.
57 on this one, so may have gotten a nicer yield if we were at the 62. Then again, this may have been one of the breeds that you wanted a 67. And that's that science behind journaling everything you do to keep track of it and experiment and find those sweet spots for that genetic.
So if you're growing to press, then you really want to pay attention to that final RH. And like you said, 62 is a little bit higher than what I like my flower to be at.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so you really got to pay attention to that and make sure that you pull it when it's there, or use the Bavita bags like you said. Those do work. Now the second pressing we did, we're not going to go through the whole video on that, but can you just tell us a little bit on what we did on the second pressing, the differences, and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. The second press we used the same starting material, the GG times AK-47. We did 7.2 grams. We're just not going to tear a piece of bud into pieces just to make it exact. But we ramped up the temperature a little bit. I like to do 5-degree increments when I do a ramp up. We were trying to see if we can get just a touch more yield off of this. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So we popped it up to 187 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Same filter size, 120. Yeah. What's that, Mike?
And what actually happened? Because you and I were both expecting a bigger yield, but what actually happened on this run?
We actually lost about 1/10 of a gram. It was we got less yield off it. Minor darkening up of the color to the point where if you put them both together, you wouldn't even really know.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a slight difference in color.
Yeah.
If I would have had, I didn't get time to unpack fully tonight. I got home and someone was parked in my handicap spot.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they didn't have a handicap sticker, and so I had to park in an overflow parking lot and then walk to my apartment and everything. So I really didn't have a lot of time to go over everything. And so this is my public service announcement. If you park in a handicap spot and you don't have a handicap sticker, you're a fucking lowlife. That's all I got to say about that.
Imagine if that was your grandmother that you just did that to. That's somebody else's friend, family member, grandmother. Be considerate, people.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, I have no parking signs in front of my store that are marked just for my store and the store next door.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if you're over at the restaurant and you've got a handicap sign on your window. You park you park right in front of my store. I've got no beef with that at all.
Right. And that's the other Blue Ridge. It's a popular restaurant, and every time we go there, there's never a handicap spot. So now that I know I can park in your spot, I will.
Absolutely. All I ask is you stick your head in a wave and be like, "Hi," and I'll let you park there. That's the way life should be. You don't do that. I think there's 2 or 3 parking spots that are handicap parked here in the whole parking lot.
Yeah.
So you park in front of my store. That's an open invite. If you've got a sticker, you park in my store.
Well, and I'll definitely stop in and roll one with you or something as well. So back to the pressing. So the second pressing wasn't as much. What do you think the reason was? It just the higher temperature might have affected it differently, or what do you think the reason why it was different?
Could be a difference in temperature affected a specific terpene that's in the profile of that genetic. Okay. It could have ended up burning more of the terpenes off and reduced your quantity.
Okay.
It could also have to do with the decarbing of the THCA, and it just affected the THCA didn't produce as much. So it's. I don't unfortunately have a scientific answer for that. I don't know if anybody truthfully does.
Right.
I'm going to blame it again on certain genetics, like different applications. And it goes right down to whether you press that breed or not. I've had breeds that I wouldn't smoke it as flower, but I tasted it after it was pressed, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like candy." And then conversely, I've had it work the other way around. Stuff that I thought was going to be absolute fire didn't press worth beans, whether it was quality or quantity. And it's the same, especially true with quantities.
Yeah,
so your yield is really all over the place based on the different terpenes and different strains.
Right. So the next Facebook Live we do, which will probably be, I'm not sure if we're going to do one this Saturday, but this Sunday where we do the reviews, I will definitely have that ready to do a review on. It's kind of cool reviewing my own product, I guess. Maybe Nick can even come over and get the product and review it as well. But before we go, is there anything else we need to know about pressing or anything?
Try it. It's very addictive just doing the action of it. Right. I have people that'll come in and they'll get 0.5 grams off of a 7 gram. Absolutely atrocious.
Right.
But they leave here grinning from ear to ear. It's more than just the dab. It's the entire experience. And now look at it. Even though it's only a little bit, if it came out like fire, you can go over to your buddy now and be like, look what I made.
Right. And that's, you bring up a great point. It is an experience. I got to go there, get my hands dirty. It was fun being a part of and doing it. Now, if someone wants to get a hold of you and do that, what do they have to do?
Well, I recommend people do not bring me any more than 2 ounces of flour at a time. Multiple reasons. First of all is time consumption. If you've never pressed before, it's going to take you a little while. I can press out an ounce pretty quickly, but I'm not the one pressing it. You have to press it because of manufacturing laws. I'm not authorized to press for people, unfortunately. So in order to get in touch with me, though, the best way is going to be to give me a shout. My phone number for the store itself is 585-481-2661. If you've got that kind of quantity, please give me a call and set it up a time. I don't want you to walk in and find somebody's already sitting here pushing an ounce. Right. Now you're going to be sitting here waiting, and I'd rather set a time for you where I know that nobody is allotted to use the beast. Yeah. And give you, an appointment.
Okay, and how much does it cost to say I come in your store? What is it going to cost if I want to run a quarter or if I want to run an ounce?
Just Nick, that page that you've got a picture of, that is a listing that says the mall at Grease Ridge. The address is accurate, but I've been fighting against the mall to remove me from their locator, and they are still not budging. So we are not located in the mall. We're about a mile west of the mall.
In the Blue Ridge, next to the Blue Ridge Cafe. If you've ever eaten there, what you do is you can go get some damn good breakfast and then go see Kevin because their breakfast there is good too.
Oh yeah, yep. You'll definitely be happy belly and maybe smiling when you leave here at.
It's always best to call first and at least see if you have someone on your press before you come out, I would suggest, correct?
Yeah. Unless you're patient and feel like waiting potentially and you don't have any plans, come chill. Yeah. I got a big screen TV here. I'll put something on the tube for you.
Or go eat and wait your turn, I guess.
There you go. And you'll be queued up for next in line.
Yeah. So, and basically, like you said, it's $10 a quarter or $30 for an ounce. Make sure you let him know if you want to do an ounce. No more than 2 ounces, because if you have a good yield, that could also actually put you over the legal amount of concentrate if you actually do.
Yes, the store record is actually a gentleman came in with some straight Girl Scout cookies, and this stuff was absolute fire. He ended up with just over 34.5% yield.
Wow, that is...
So if you were to bring in the legal limit of 3 zips, you're going to be leaving here with a third or more. That's leaving here with 28 grams. 24 is the limit legally. I do not want you to leave my store and putting yourself at risk of getting in trouble. Right. I'm not going to be the one who gets in trouble. I'd love to charge you for 3 ounces of pressing.
Right.
But I'm also, I don't want to be that person that's not able to sleep at night knowing that you left my store with an illegal amount. Not going to happen in my games.
Now, anything else you want to add before I open it up for questions?
No, I think that it was pretty self-explanatory to people. I mean, if you do have quantities, there is methods for curing rosins. Unfortunately, I mean, we obviously didn't have enough for you to be concerned with curing because you're going to end up gobbling that up quick, especially with
Right.
Nick's lungs coming over there.
Yeah, yeah. His middle name should be Chimney, I think.
But no, there is a for flour. You're going to do a cold curing process versus the bubble hashes. If you're pressing that into rosins, you're going to do a warm cure process, and that's a whole other episode on curing. Really,
Right. And
it's very involved.
the other thing we didn't touch on is the pucks that you use. What can you do after? So you gave me the pucks. So what can I do now that I've got those as well?
Yeah, do not throw your pucks out, folks. Those are valuable. Proof in the pudding is I know a lady who uses medicinally like a champ all day. Very bad fibromyalgia and some other situations, Crohn's, things like that going on. So she's got a very high tolerance for edibles, especially. She dropped 2 7-gram pucks, the leftovers after we pressed them, into a cup of tea. Let it steep for about 2 or 3 minutes and drank it down. She calls me up laughing her ass off. So she's like, "These are awesome, I love it." And she said she slept so good that night. So, I mean, there's still a benefit because essentially you're left with a decarbed flour.
Right.
I mean, what's the average decarb temperature like for making goodies?
I do my decarb at 220.
Yeah. So now you put this material in between a press plates, squishing under pressure, and you're still left with some material. You're not getting 100% that without busting a bag or without getting it real dark on your end rosins, which we don't want.
Right.
So there is telltale amounts left over inside those packs, and those are very tasty.
Right. So we do have some more people jumping in now. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to questions, but first I'm gonna let just Nick, if he has any questions he wants to ask first, before anybody else jumps in.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Let's see, Kevin. Thank you so much for again everything you do, not just for us, but for the community as well. Like Mike mentioned earlier, just like how comfortable people feel going into your shop is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
A couple questions. You may have touched on them, I may have missed it, but just to reiterate, let's see. How strong is rosin? When you press this out, what are we looking at for content?
Well, I mean, you'd have to get it lab tested. Unfortunately, the only people I've had contact with locally in our little community that we've got our network is they've only got the ability to test flour right now. Nobody seems to have one for detecting concentrates. So I could not tell you accurately what we're getting. I can give you a guesstimate. Let's say you started off with 25% for your THC test if you did an actual THC test on your start flour. I'm going to say that you're probably reducing that down around the range of 45, maybe 50% THC.
Okay.
Versus a really high-end bubble hash run, you can see numbers 60, 70, potentially even if you've got 6-car hash. You could see possibly even 80% number for your THC. So it really does concentrate it down hardcore.
Okay. And then on that aspect, if you want to get something tested, I'm dropping some product off to the labs next week. Let's get together. Let's send something in and test it out.
Now,
bring in your favorite product you want to squeeze, and we'll get a test on it.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. And I have the capabilities of testing as well here, so we'll test it before, and then we'll send it to a lab and get the concentrate, the rosin tested afterwards, and we'll go from there.
Now, how much rosin do you need to have tested?
I'll double check on that, but it's no more than like 0.7 of a gram.
Okay.
from
I
the
was going to
last.
say, I was going to say probably a grand would be required, but yeah, 0.7.
Yeah. And then I guess what's so I bring in my 2 ounces. I call you up and you're not busy or invite me over, and I bring in my 2 ounces. I guess is a two-part question. What do the best product or the best material to bring you for my yield, as well as what's the value of it when I get it pressed? Say you press me a gram, what's the value?
Value is all over the board right now. And it's not even quality based half the time. I've seen at a lot of the events. Just like with flour, you can find runts at 4 tables and have 4 different prices.
Absolutely.
So the pricing, hard to pin down really.
And then, I know that if anybody's interested in a press, I know you've expressed it to me before, just get a hold of Kevin at Nature's Little Helper. He'll steer you in the right direction for quality presses.
I do want.
Yeah, I've ordered a few presses for people here. I can get the presses for pretty decent price. You don't have to be going up there spending $1,000 on a press, guys.
Okay, so I want
Don't
to
do that.
interrupt right now. We're going to bring in Edward. Edward, if you could unmute yourself. Still can't hear you. If you can unmute yourself.
I can hear him.
I hear him. No, there we go.
I
hear you.
Everybody but Mike hears you.
Yeah. So tell us, Edward, what do you have in your hand? I can't hear a word he's saying, but.
Oh, we're listening just fine. Click on his name and unmute him.
Oh, that's right. No, it's
the joys of Discord.
So,
hey,
I'll
now
try
I
a
can hear
little
you,
bit of
Kevin.
this. There you go.
So how did it look? How did it smell?
So I mean, it looks great. I mean, like when I picked it up and when I talked to you, I mean, took a look at it, really hairy, like orange hairs all over it, very purple. Smells great. Like I said, I got a little bit here.
And so this is called Purplelicious. Kevin won this from the Secret Stash. It's a combination of Granddaddy Purple by Purple Urkel. So this is Kevin.
You mean Edward won it?
Edward won it, yes.
Very smooth. I don't even know how to really like explain it. Like, there's a fruitiness to it as well, like a sweet taste.
How's it hit your head?
I might have to do it again. It's like it's chill.
Like a body relaxing, a little mind upbeating, but it's more just a chill.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is great.
So, what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd probably give it a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was our guinea pig. He won our first prize of the Secret Stash. So Nick, let's go ahead and go back to you. I just wanted to bring Edward in there so he could show off his prize and everything. Edward,
Thanks, guys.
You're fine. Hey, Edward, I like your shirt, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Someone on this call gave it to me.
No, that's awesome. I at least took care of you today?
Yeah.
Held you over in the meantime until Mike was able to get you some of that stuff over there. How did you like that sour diesel?
It's great, man. I really enjoyed it. It's real dank. I mean, same thing that hit me, and just I was in work mode all day today, and it was just pretty much a day of just listening to nothing but dad and reggae, and I smoked that, and it was just smooth sailing the rest of the day.
As soon as you open that bag, that sour hits you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude. No, this thing is sick.
Ooh, that's sick.
Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Not a problem. But I got one more question for Kevin, and then I'll open up to everybody else. And that's, Kevin, if you got one word of advice for anybody that's interested in pressing or wants to get into it, what is that?
education. Just educate yourself, or learn from somebody. Come to me. I'm not going to bite. I mean, I don't know how many times I've come in and I haven't charged somebody just because they got a really bad yield off, but they learned. Ask questions.
Right.
No, I will say thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to get more time, spend more time there. It's one of my favorite places to be in. Like I said, how comfortable I felt with you and the shop and everything. It was a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to come
More than
together
welcome.
sometime. So, any other questions or anything else? Yes, no, forever, speak now or hold your peace forever. Hey, Christian.
Questions in general or questions about pressing?
About
Yeah,
pressing
either
and
or.
yeah, either or. What you got to? I'm gonna step away for a second, so maybe Nick can handle the question. I just have to go take care of something. I'll be right back. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's not a
I
problem.
just wanted, Nick, did you get my phone number?
I did. I just seen your message, and I'll get, as soon as we're done here, I'll get back to you. But let's plan for something tomorrow at some point.
Yeah, no pressure. I just wanted to see if you got my number.
Absolutely. So Kevin, thank you so much for your time. We did touch. I know that there was no sound coming across Facebook earlier, but let's talk about some events coming up. Kevin, do you know of any events that are coming up that you want to talk about or recommend?
Honestly, I'm consumed right now, Nick, with the process of getting ready to do a move here.
Awesome. How's that going?
We've got a proposal out. Pretty sure it's going to be accepted. They sent the contractor crew in to look at the prefab work that they're going to do. So I'm just waiting on a call back. I was hoping for it this evening, but you know how construction crews can be with being backed up.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll know by tomorrow if it's a go or not, or if I have to, modify my proposal a little bit with what, the build out requirements are. And then we can just get the lease signed and out of here. Hoping that if everything goes well, that I might even be transitioned over to the new store in the first week of February. Even.
That'd be wild. That would be great.
It's going to be fast. It's going to be fast.
Well, like I said before, don't be afraid to reach out for help, even if it's moving cases, whatever it might be. We're there for you, and we'll be there.
Right on.
I'll at
So
least
let's see.
I'll at
Go
least
ahead.
come direct people moving cases.
Okay, that might work.
Still have another white hard hat on the job, looks like. Okay.
Well, no, I have limited mobility I've got knee, back, and hip issues, so
I'll just be like.
Yeah, I know. So I can do what I can do, but I'm proud of what I do. Damn it.
Organization sometimes is a requirement, though. So definitely, if I have a need, I know who to call.
Right.
And it's not Ghostbusters.
Rena, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
We're maintaining.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day to say the least.
So, best part about your day today, Rena?
Meeting up with you.
And you're still cheesing from ear to ear, right?
You know I am.
Awesome. No, I enjoy getting up that way. So, did you taste them all? What was your favorite?
Oh, this pink candy.
Yeah.
I'm coming for some more.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. That is probably my favorite to smoke on.
Sounds like we're gonna be coming for some more mango pie too.
You like that? Yeah, that one. The nose on that smells good.
Cool.
Martel, how you doing tonight? He's probably passed out. He's been up all night, or the last 2 days, working on the Discord, getting that all figured out.
I was going to say, when I woke up again at 3 a.m., he was still online this morning.
Yeah, but look at all the changes. Holy cow. The Discord is very organized. If any of you guys haven't been on, checking it out.
Why don't we go ahead and explain the changes? Because for someone who hasn't been on for a week, it's going to confuse them when they first come on.
Sure. I guess when you log on to the Discord now, I believe you can only see initially the general chat and the welcome screen. Read through the welcome chat and it tells you exactly what to do. You pin a location. You verify if you're a smoker or if you're a vendor. Based on that verification, you get access to different channels and different locations, vendor locations. I think I see them. I'm looking through right now. We got Salamanca, Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, Canandaigua, Gowanda, Fairport, Wayne County, Lockport.
What was Gowanda?
Gowanda, that is right just southeast of Irving.
Oh, it's not a little country in the middle of nowhere?
No.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that. My friend is from there. And she was like, I graduated from out there. I said, you graduated from Wakanda? What?
It's a little weird town. It's a nice little town. I go over there a little bit, but yeah, just outside of Irving, south of Irving, I guess. But yeah, so there's locations all over. You pin your location, you see the different chats from different vendors in that location. There's it's kind of neat. Read through everything. Obviously, there's more changes that are going to be made. Age verification. I know the music bot is up and running. If you go into this channel and type in music commands, and you can pick up any music song, any song you want that you can think of. And that's free. Type in the commands to skip whatever you want to do.
Cool.
Let's see. Looking through here, you got your vendor chats with your up-to-date information on that. Your 585 Cannabis Club chats. Each one of these should have a meeting room and a conference room with a voice channel like what we're talking in now, as well as a text channel to relay information, education, whatever. Vendors are welcome to request to start their own channels and chats. We kind of want to make this a hub for the community, smokers and vendors. So yeah, check on in if you want a channel, you want a voice channel, let us know.
Now, if anybody has any issues or questions on how things work, they can always go to look at the people who are online, and anybody who's in green is an admin, and we'll be glad to help you out if you get confused or need help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, just keep checking back, and when we finally get all the updates made over the next couple of days, we'll kind of do a 10-minute segment on it. It's super easy to navigate. Like I said, the top left drop-down menu, scroll up and down, and click on what you need.
Now, so let's go ahead. Do we have, so we've got our Sunday night review, we're doing that, correct, this Sunday?
Yes, so Sunday night we're doing a Sunday night review. And then we talked about, I don't know. Do we want to say what we're reviewing? It's going to be equipment, not necessarily product.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead. My review Sunday night is going to be the Mars Hydro FCE 3000, which is one of their new bar lights they came out with.
Okay.
And I think you said you were going to review something as well?
Yeah, I'm going to do the Seahorse Pro, and I believe Andrew's going to do the Puffco.
Okay. So we're going to be doing all types of equipment, not just growing equipment or smoking equipment or dab equipment. We're going to be touching on everything every Sunday. Now, are we going to do... We don't have any party or anything planned for this Saturday night, right? This is just our next one's going to be Sunday, or are we going to do something Saturday?
So, as you know, we have somebody's on here pretty much 24 hours a day. Like you say, when you wake up in the middle of the night, people are on here. Right. I think pretty much every Saturday night there seems to be a group of 10 to 12 people hanging out. I mean, it's not unfeasible to get a little dance party going if you guys want to.
So do you want to do... We don't have to go till midnight or anything, but if you guys want to meet at the Discord around 8:30, 8 to 9 or so. We'll go live for a little bit. That'd be cool.
Okay, absolutely. And then the only other channel that I want to make sure everyone's aware about is I believe they made it. I requested them to do it right before we went live. There should be a raffle channel that's open to everybody. You don't have to register at all.
Right.
But periodically check that channel because we'll be posting up raffles where all you have to do is register and you get a signed raffle ticket.
Okay. And then, so going into next week, next Tuesday, I am going to have D Mill on, who is a cannabis event promoter and music promoter. Next Wednesday, we'll do our roundtable again. There's always a giveaway or something going around then. So tune in for that one. And Thursday, then we're going to have the Canna Nana on, who is a medical patient that has, at her first time at her, I can't say her age because she might shoot my head off or something, but at her age that she's just now completing her first series of grows as a medical patient. And we'll have her get in and talk about that. And then we'll also have a Heidi Martell, if you're there, if you want to explain the rest of it, but we'll have someone that deals with edibles for medical patients. So that will be our lineup for next week. Anything else we need to add, or did I get it all there?
I think everything's covered. Yeah, so Sunday reviews, Saturday night if you're free and you don't want to go out and chance driving on the road with all the other crazy people, hang out with us.
Yep.
Sunday night reviews. Tuesday, you got the cannabis promoter coming on.
Yeah, his name is Dee Mill, Mill. He's out of
Deep Mill.
Yeah, he's out of Peoria, Illinois, but he's done events in Arizona, Oklahoma, Illinois. So he's covered a lot of ground, and he'll be a good one to talk on the things that promoters need to worry about and the things promoters need to do. I think,
Awesome.
and that's the one thing that our area is lacking is no one really. All the people that are promoting have never promoted before. So it'll be good. It'll be good to have someone that knows what they're doing to talk about it.
Absolutely. And then Wednesday we got our roundtable. I think I want to bring in. No, we're not gonna bring in any special expert. We're just gonna teach some people how to roll joints and blunts or whatever. Just take a quick little thing. I think as we sit here for hours on end talking to each other, watching people roll different things, I think a lot of people would benefit from a class in that.
Well, yeah, so I guess I would be the first person because I haven't rolled a joint.
I didn't want to call you out, but I guess
Call me out because I've rolled joints.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a joint, of arthritic joint.
I got 3 of those right now, actually.
You need to sample some of that press from tonight there, Mike.
So I'm going to wait on that until when tomorrow or our next review session, just because that's really about the review, and I want to save it for the right moment to do it.
So that's going to be Sunday night then? When do I get to try this?
Do you want to get together and do our Sunday night live together? Like, we can either do it at a location near here, I can bring all the equipment out, or you can come over here and we can do it all together and, like, do the first dabs together on air.
I love the idea, but I'm not in charge of my Sundays, so let me get clearance from the boss.
Okay. But yeah, if we could do that, that'd be really cool. If not, if one of these days you actually do make it over here, I'll have that ready for you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And then, so then that's Wednesday's roundtable. Thursday, you have an edibles and medicinal edibles person coming on. Yep. And then that takes us through Thursday. Next weekend, we can do the same thing as far as a little dance party Saturday night to get ready for our reviews Sunday next week. So that brings the entire week together next week.
Yep, and then we'll start. I've got the itineraries written out for the week after that, but I don't have it confirmed yet. So we'll start
Perfect.
talking
So if
about.
anybody wants to get on with us on a Wednesday or a Sunday, shoot myself or Mike a private message, and we can. The round table on Wednesdays would be ideal. Come on with us, hang out, smoke, maybe get some of your product to us. We can do a friendly review on it.
All right.
But just a nice, friendly, laid back round table is what we're looking for on Wednesdays.
Or also, if you think you have something to add to the educational pieces on Tuesdays and Thursdays, by all means, give us your idea and we'll look at it. And if it's something that we feel that it's a good educational piece, yeah, we'll get you on there and have you educate us.
Absolutely. Kevin, again, thank you so much for your time. Anybody, Mike, you can go ahead and end the live stream on Facebook. Let's open. Anybody want to chat, discuss? What's everyone smoking on tonight?
Okay, hold on. Let me
Giddy up.
end
Thanks
it
for
for.
joining us.
Okay, I ended it for this time, so I can't fall asleep without it ending this time.
There you go. That's kind of why I had you do that. Ace, Aceness, how's it going tonight?
Oh, I'm doing alright about yourself.
Oh, not too bad. What are you enjoying tonight?
Right now I'm smoking on some Tropicana cookies, some diamonds.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I can almost smell the terpenes right now as you say it. Man, that sounds good. Giddy up, how's it going? They bring you in muted. You just gotta hit that mic on the bottom of your screen.
Giddy up. Papa, papa, wow, giddy up.
No.
Oh,
Well, just all right. Cannabis Chris.
Hey guys, how's everybody tonight?
We're doing good. Are you having a good evening?
Yeah, I'm in Wendy's drive-through getting the munchies.
Ooh, what are you getting? Are you getting a baconator or a big
Yeah, I
meat
am.
fries? Are you?
That's
Oh,
my last name. Of course I am.
I love that thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm smoking Pineapple Express.
There you go. So
Cool.
Chris is smoking Pineapple Express, going through drive-through Wendy's right now. We'll take orders and deliver.
Yes.
Chris, I've got a question for you because you won something last night. So I'm going to give you a few names and you tell me which one sounds better.
Okay.
So the first one is going to be it's called Dreamwalker. It's Blue Dream by Skywalker. The
Green
next,
Walker, like Skywalker.
yeah, Blue Dream by Skywalker.
Okay.
The next choice is going to be um, Gorilla Glue by AK-47.
Oh,
And the next one is a Granddaddy Purple by a Purple Urkel.
I think that one.
That one, okay,
Yep.
okay. So that will be the part of my prize that our prize that I promised you that'll be the part that you get from me.
Nice. We'll have to review it for you.
Okay, Nick, back to you.
Man, my mouth's watering just hearing those names. You're gonna have to give me a list like that.
Well, yeah, I guess I can give you a
Actually,
little bit.
Why don't we do? Why don't you just do a little sample platter for me, and I gotta try to guess the names.
Oh, you want me to mix it all up in a bag? Well, the purple will be easy to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll put yeah, I'll make you up a combo bag, and you'll have to guess the other two.
So what do you look for when you do you get these seeds sent out and you pop the seed and you grow it? What makes you say, "Wow, that's a good one"? Is it density? Is it the nose on it? What do you look for?
So all of that. I want a good thick big. So right now I mainly test auto flowers. So I want an auto flower that's going to perform as good as a photo. And so get the same density, the thickness, the same trichomes, the same juiciness of it, the same head of it, and everything as you would from a photo. So I'm looking for all of that. Now there are some strains that I do get that don't perform as well quantity wise, but they just knock your socks off of quality wise. So I still keep those in my wheelhouse. They're not going to be ran like in the full productions of everything, but there'll be things that like when it's time to get that good, that really 110%. I'll throw in one of those. But then there's also times we get some that produce a hell of a quantity. Um, Now the quality's still there, but it's still not. It's not going to be the highest quality, but it's still above what people would call mid tier.
Right. No. Okay, Kathy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Nick?
We're doing really well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey now, can you hear
Um,
me?
we can hear you just great.
You fantastic.
Let me come on here for you. So did how's Lou doing?
Oh, he's hanging in there.
Awesome, awesome. Did you guys make it over and pick up a treat?
Yes,
Good,
yes.
good.
Actually, he was able to get over there himself without
Oh,
his little tag along. So,
very good. Awesome. No, I've been thinking about you guys a lot, so I made a point to get over there, and I will. I got a couple other ideas that I want to work on with Lou that I think can help out. I'm done researching some other things, and I'd like to try it with him.
oh, that's awesome. I told him if he doesn't get some relief here sometime soon, we'd have to call the doctor again. But he said, I want to give physical therapy a chance.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And in the meantime, I'm still talking to Nick. So
Yeah.
he's excited about that butter recipe.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna work on that with them, and then like I said, I got a couple of things I'm working on. By the end of this weekend, I'll have something to them, and hopefully makes that quality of life a little better.
Nice.
Fantastic. I'm sure he will be very happy.
Awesome, awesome,
He
and
likes being your guinea pig.
I enjoy you guys, so I don't mind at all. I like the feedback, and if you don't mind sharing a little bit about cannabis and how it affects you and your family's life.
Well, right now it doesn't do much for me since I'm driving a school bus and I can't wait for June to get here. So Andrew has been talking about some stuff that's very. I'm looking forward to being able to try some of these things that I'm not able to do right now. But uh, Lou fell and broke his back in 2003. Fell off of a roof, and he was on opioids for 18 plus years. And New York State, through workers' comp, just shut him right off completely. Cold turkey himself got himself weaned off of it. And that was a nightmare in itself. And with some of the little gifts that we've gotten from you and Andrew and a friend up in Maine, he's been able to relieve some of it, some of the discomfort and the pain. But he just went through back surgery, and anesthesia is now starting to wear off. So he's searching again to try to find that happy medium where he's getting relief, but he's not being completely zoned out. So we're
Right.
working on it.
Right. No, and I like I told him before, he can't hurt himself too much by if you to get some relief, take a little bit more than I initially said about what he picked up
Right.
today. And like I said, I'm working on something else. I made it a point to get some more of that made as well. And hopefully we can take care of some of that.
Well, we definitely appreciate it, and we'll do anything we can to help you guys out. We're
showing up and showing support means a lot, and I appreciate it. That's all I ask for.
Oh, you got that? No problem.
Thank you guys. Yeah, anybody got any questions at all? I mean, I know we're not live streaming anymore. It's kind of just hanging out. Chris, are you all through the drive-through now?
Yeah, I'm past the drive-through.
Did you eat the burger already?
Nope, I just got home. I'm gonna unfurl it in a moment.
Mike, what'd you have for us?
Hey, can I ask Mike a question while he's cooking? Hey, Mike, can I change my answer to that one with Skywalker?
Sure.
All right. Skywalker is actually one of my favorite strains besides the kosher Kush. And actually, that's what I got growing down in my tent right now is Skywalkers.
So we're still on. People can see you, so don't talk about anything we're not supposed to be talking about.
We're still on Facebook, you're saying?
Well, no, we're not on Facebook, but anybody can just pop in here at any minute.
Yep.
So it's better to hit about it. Should I go open my tent then?
Yeah, why not? This was kind of what I pulled out. I'm super particular about curing, harvest times, and playing around with it for different patients in medicine. But for that aspect of it. So this is what I have for processing for Lou. What this one is the White Widow. This one is one of the best medicines that I found. If you let it grow and let it go long, for some reason this White Widow strain, that CBN is huge pain relief, huge muscle joint relief. For nighttime, just relaxing, just to have peace of mind, to eat something. The feedback on this strain has been absolutely really phenomenal. So I pulled that out, and that's kind of what I had in mind for you to try.
Now, for you, when you're curing it, especially for med patients, you're gonna let that go a while and let that get nice and.
Oh, this has probably been in here. I mean, I burp it, but you see the humidity packs. It's stable. This has been in here for 6-7 months, probably.
Okay. And so it's already cured. You're just waiting for the right time.
Absolutely. I don't really. I'd say I don't pull anything out of jars before 4 months, probably.
Okay. That's what I normally do. Well, actually, about 3 months. But yeah, this time, once I've been able to get it to the smokable point, that's right now for me. That's what I'm having to do.
Man, maybe your eyes water. It just hits you. The curing. It's like we talked about before. It's obviously another class, another lecture all in itself. But I mean, you're gaining the taste. The terpenes are coming out in it. The crystals are coming out in it. It's just
the terpenes.
It turns beautiful.
Yeah. And definitely the terpenes do break down, and that's what's happening. The terpenes are actually breaking down to where they're being more useful stuff. And so, yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
Not, but I will bring my questions next time.
No, you guys good. We're now more. We're just kind of hanging out. What we do all night, every night. I might just sit, smoke, and laugh.
Yeah, but I usually fall asleep in about an hour, and Nick's usually falling asleep when I wake up.
Yeah, pretty much. I hold it down when Mike's asleep.
I actually just got a new light.
Oh, really? Nice. What'd you get?
It is HLG. I think it's the 600 R spec.
Oh, the Scorpion.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the box at the moment.
Okay. Is it red or is it blue?
It's red.
Oh.
It's the 300L R spec.
300L. Okay, that's a good light. You'll be very, very, very happy with that.
You turn my camera on. This guy.
And what type? How big are your? How big is your space?
I think it's 3x3.
Um. Yeah, that should be good. You might want to look at the actual wattage from it. I think it's a little bit lower than actual 300. Um, or that's not the actual light. That's not your new light, right?
Yeah, that is the new light.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's probably actually about 280 actually coming off the wall.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
well, yeah, it's like cars, motorcycles.
Don't let them scare you. You'll grow something just fine with that
Yeah,
light.
well, I'm getting to that. That's a hell of a light for the space. The thing you're gonna want to watch out for is, as you notice on that light, there's no fannings or fairings coming off to shoot the light down towards the canopy.
Yep.
So you can actually run those a little bit closer to the tops of the canopy than you would be one that's focused.
Oh, okay. It actually, how many watts did you say? You said what, 280?
Yeah, I believe it's 280 or 287 coming off the
The,
wall on that one.
yep, it actually on the box says 250 is the max.
So yeah, that's about. What if you did a test meter or had a meter? It probably will be about 270, 280.
You're pretty good.
Well, I've owned one. I've owned actually a couple of those lights, and HLG is one of my favorite companies.
Is it?
Yeah.
MJ Puffin stuff recommended it to me.
Smart person then.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. So is he your mentor then? I would hope.
Not, I guess I don't really have a mentor yet. I think he and I just we were kind of like minded sometimes, and we got chatting, and I started looking around on his website, and then I started to see some of the medicine um, that he's been growing, and I was just like, wow, how did you do that? And I've been asking a variety of people, so I've just kind of been watching to see the different quality of medicines and people who seem like they have their stuff together. And I've been asking them over the past few months, and so I've been taking notes on the different types of lights and soil and fertilizers. And I decided that I was going to go with this light when they had a Christmas sale.
Nice. Now, what genetics are you using?
Both of these are. Both of these, I don't know what the genetics are. They're Skywalker OG from Attitude in London.
Okay, and now are you growing them from seeds or are they clones?
They're from seeds, and they're both autoflower.
Autoflowers. Okay.
Yep. I actually also had, so Friday, Saturday I had the accident. Friday night I had some edibles that knocked me for. I mean, I got a high tolerance, and these ones knocked me really good. And somehow I hit the wrong switch on my heater, and I turned my tent up to 130 degrees and killed off 9 of my seedlings.
Okay, so how big is your tent again?
3x3.
You do not need nine plants in that at all.
Well, I was doing the law of averages, and I haven't been doing so well when I'm growing. So it seems like starting out with 9 seemed like to be the best way because I'd never be able to grow all of them.
Okay, so we'll pay attention to us. We'll walk you through getting you going and everything.
Cool.
Nick, Nick, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Um, Chris, would you be cool instead of me giving you a full Z, giving you half a Z and then some really good genetics for you to have?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Um, I think the genetics would be better off than the actual flower item. I mean, the flower is great because you'd be growing the same genetics, but
Yep.
it's better to teach a man to fish than to give a man a fish.
Yeah, I hear you there. Cool.
Are you cool with that, Nick?
Yeah, that sounds it. I mean, as long as he's good with it, I'm good with it.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I that because I would rather give you because yeah I can give you those seeds to grow yourself.
Fun stuff.
So, Mike, I can't obviously check your pages, but the pages that I had, just so you know, you had 435 viewers tonight.
400. So so
435.
so we're over 600,
That was awesome.
and that's just on the one page I've got, Nick. So yeah. So we can do a little dance tonight. I think that's the biggest one yet live, right?
There's gonna be Mike doubles coming out here soon.
There already are people trying to copy my whole thing that I had been planning for years.
There's a lot of copying going around these days.
And that's how Nick and I came together. Is we like Nick like he I it was just by chance that I ended up at his event. But I guess I impressed a couple of people and we started talking and had the same visions and everything. So it makes perfect sense that Nick and I are in the same Discord channel together.
And I told him some good ideas, and he's still hanging out when he hasn't stolen them yet, so he's alright, I guess.
And you haven't really stolen any. Well, yeah, no, you haven't stolen any of my ideas. I know who has.
It's alright, we let him go. We let some of those ideas go. We can't do everything.
Okay, I gotta get going soon. My wife's dancing in the shadows, so I'm trying to say it's sexy time.
Well, tell her to save some of that energy. Jesus.
No, it's very rare that she has that energy now. So
That's what I mean. Tell her to save it.
right. So we'll give her a few minutes.
Yeah, he says that, but in reality, we're letting Mike get warmed up here.
Hey guys, I want to thank you guys for letting me hang out for a while tonight, but I'm out. See you
Not a
later.
problem.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you guys too.
And I'm gonna bounce you guys. I'm gonna go eat this cold burger now.
Sorry about that, Chris. Enjoy it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I like getting to know you guys, so it's cool.
Cool.
So Nick, give me a shout later on tonight or tomorrow's fine too.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, cool. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out then, Nick. I'll be back in a little bit if you need me.
Okay, absolutely.
Overall, I think it went good. Besides the original mess ups.
No, absolutely. I think it went well, and everyone's benefiting from the information, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, and then we'll be able to edit that video down when I post it. We'll edit it all the way down to where it actually starts. But anyways, have a good night.
Yeah, you as well, Mike.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.